hunt around for this plant. It won't be hard to find, especially this time of the year. It's decked out with these red berries, and they'll be on until about January. You want to get out there before the ground freezes. Just get a digging fork, dig up a bunch of these roots, and make a tincture. Sprinkle a little apple cider vinegar in there. I feel like we should have gallons of this medicine on hand. So I started going kind of down the green path as my dearest teacher, Frank Cook, said. He called it the green path. You know, when you start getting into plants, you're walking down the green path. And at first I was just like, what's its name and can I eat it? I don't care about the Latin, I don't care about the phytochemistry, I don't care about herbalism, I don't care about permaculture. I just want to know what's its name, can I eat it, and is there anything poisonous that looks like it, so that I don't get confused and make myself sick. And that was a very short phase, fortunately, because while I was at Heathcote I encountered the teachings of this brother Frank Cook, and he shifted my whole perspective on it. He brought the whole thing full circle just by pointing out that the plants are beings, that they're intelligent, that they make choices, that they have personalities, you know, they have specialties and they have talents, and there are certain beings that they like to be associated with, there are certain places that they like to live, and when you approach the plants in that way, it shifts everything. It takes it from being this intellectual memorization of facts and features and turns it into developing a relationship, which is so much easier. Anytime that I teach, there's no end user. That's one thing that Frank always emphasized. So anything that you learn today, any level of depth that you experience with these plants, any deeper understanding that you gain about life and reality and existence, this is not for you to keep and say, ha ha ha, look how smart I am, you can eat that. You know, this is something for you to pass on, to share. Yeah, wineberry is, this is a very excellent medicine for all the women here and for the men too. It's a very nutritive, blood building herb, but this is very closely, this is in the raspberry tribe. So raspberries tend to have this white, downy kind of vibe to the underside. You can pass that leaf around and see. And the berries are very edible, very tasty, but in particular the leaves. I think there's a tremendous amount of value to be gained from drying the leaves and making a tea out of them.
Is it similar to the red raspberry leaf tea?
Yeah, exactly. It would be very similar to red raspberry leaf tea. No, this is a great plant. It is very prolific and very dispersive. It spreads a lot by seeds. So you'll see, and it tolerates total shade. And if you get up close, you'll see there's these little spiky thorns on it. And the plant's name, the common name, is Japanese barberry. There's a lot of research on this one. If you look at Stephen Herod Buhner's book on herbal antibiotics for antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria, that book has a whole section on the berberine containing plants, and he also hails this plant as a really important one for us to be harvesting and extracting berberines from, because they're really good at fighting pathogens that have already developed resistance to a lot of our antibiotics. Mulberries are great. These are a great permaculture plant because they propagate from cuttings. They produce a tremendous amount of berries. They're a nice early summer producer. The berries are very rich in vitamins and antioxidants. It's great for chicken food, and the berries are great for making wine or for making jellies or pies. And this is also a crop that I think is very important to the future of our fuel. I think coppice crops are a very important thing for us to start thinking about, because this tree is such that we could cut it off at the base right now and it wouldn't even care. Next year it would send up 15 or 20 shoots and it would just pick up right where it left off, and then the year after that it would start producing berries again, and all of the berries would be, you know, within arm's reach for us to harvest. And then we can use all of this really hard, high BTU wood. You know, when we're talking about these medicinal herbs and these medicinal plants, there's a lot of factors involved. You know, there's all kinds of different active constituents within them. There's water-soluble compounds, there's alcohol-soluble compounds, there's fat-soluble compounds. All of those compounds are in a constant state of flux from the time that it's dormant in the winter to the time in the spring when it starts sprouting, to the time in the summer when it goes to flower, to the time in the fall when it goes to fruit, you know, until it goes back into the dormancy of the winter time. Eating something wild every day, you slowly become a wild person. Like, you think about it, where do these bodies come from, right? We're all born less than 10 pounds. We all grow to be over 100 pounds. What is that? Where did all of that mass come from? Where did all that material come from? It came from all the things that we put in our mouth. And that's all plants.